Hello and welcome to Real Talk with Ella. I'm your host, Daniela. Here on Real Talk with Ella, you don't just watch, you listen, you learn, and you grow. This show is about talking to industry experts, steal their secrets, know how they grow, and then just learn from them. So, on today's episode, we're going to talk about women in business. This is a very interesting one. And for our guest today, we have the very beautiful and passionate entrepreneur who has been successful in all her years of business. And let's welcome Mrs. Sandra Uwaja.
Hello.
Thank you very much, Matt, for agreeing to come on the show.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Now, before we start, the guests would want to know you. Aside from your name, Sandra Uwaja, is there anything you'd like
Okay.
to tell us?
Yeah. Good morning,
Good
everyone. It's a
morning.
pleasure being on this show to talk with Ella. My name, as you know, is Sandra Baja, and I am an entrepreneur. I've been in business for a long time, in fact, 19 years to be precise. And it's been a long journey of fulfillment and goodwill. So I am here, you know my name already, and I'm a mother, I'm a businesswoman, I'm a wife, and I'm able to bring these things together. And yeah, right here at 45, I am still rocking it and I'm still doing well as far as I know. And I never forget to add by the grace of God because God is the ultimate fulfiller.
Oh, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Okay, so we're going to move straight into the question. So,
Okay.
what got you into business and entrepreneurship?
Okay. In my early years of marriage, I got into marriage very early and then I had some 3 kids initially. So at some point, the Nigerian system wasn't enough to support just one source of income. And I told myself I needed to do something. As at that time, I was running a program in Lagos State University.
Okay.
So I just told myself, what can I do? So I started thinking. So I happened to stumble on a friend that is into mobile phone business. Yes, and that'll be in 2006.
Okay.
Precisely the year my son was born. So I stumbled on her, and then we are friends. Sometimes I help her pick up her items from the airport, and I just told myself, I could do this, you know. So that's how the old thought and idea came. And then there came the limitations of funds. And she said to me, why don't you buy this thing through us, distribute to people in the market? Since you don't have a shop yet and you can't afford to get one, then come back later to pick up your money.
Okay.
And that's exactly how I started. I invested, the first investment then was $3,000. Then dollar was around 130. Yeah. So that was in 2007. Yes. Dollar was around 130, 2006, 2007, 139. I think 139 or 130 thereabout. So that's how I started. And then I did the first one. I come to the market, GSM Village to be precise, the market beside the airport. I give out these phones, and the evening I come, the ones that were sold, I get paid, and I retrieve the ones that were not sold. So that's how we started with Sandlin's Communications. That's how the name Sandlin's Communication was bedded, and that's how we started.
Wow. What I'm even more shocked about is we Gen Z, we can't relate. I can't believe dollar was ever 130 something. So that was great, amazing.
Yeah.
So at that moment, and what did you feel like when you initially started? Did you get scared?
Yes,
Anxious?
yes. Like every other endeavor, when you start out, you're going to be scared. You're going to be worried. I have a little baby I need to care for. I have a program I'm still running in school, so it wasn't extremely convenient for me at that time. And coincidentally, the following year, around that year, 2006, I lost my child who was 2 years old. So a lot of things were going on for me at that time, and then I needed where to channel that energy and that drive, that pain, to put it somewhere for distractions. So that's how I started, and I had my fears. I had my not being sure which way forward. But there's this drive that was in me that said, okay, just keep going. Don't think about what tomorrow brings. And that's what I did. I did. And that's how I got there.
Wow. That's amazing. So remember, push even when things doesn't feel like it's gonna work
Yes.
out, just keep pushing. God will take control. God
Yeah.
always takes control. All right. So we actually have a question you've answered before. How many years have you been in business?
I've been this year marks 19 years I've been in business.
Oh, okay, that's long.
Yes. Yes. And I've been able to also diversify from the mobile phone business into beauty business, like sales of human hair wigs.
Okay.
We've been able to move to other things, sales of accessories. We've been able to open some other branches to be able to, meet the need. Because when I come into a space and I see that, okay, this thing is not needed, okay, I try to get this thing that is not needed into that business. Like in my business, I have always operated this way. I don't do one set of like I don't come to a phone business and I'm just selling the iPhones. I diversify. I go online, I see what people want. Some people are prone to Goku Pizza, which is American brand. Some people are prone to this and that. So I bring all the phones together under one umbrella, and that has kept me going.
Okay.
So it's not so impossible that you are stepping into my business space and there's nothing you're picking, because everything you want as regards the mobile phone, I represent each of the brands.
Well,
So that has worked for me over the years, and it's still working for me. I'm still in the business. So this is what I've always done. Like, when I listen to my customers, I jot down the things that they needed. There are lovers of iPhones, there are lovers of Samsung, there are lovers of Cocoa Pizzas, there are lovers. In fact, there are some unknown brands that people don't have in Nigeria that I also have. Brands like Umidiki, these are waterproof phones, so many other ones, and of course the Nigerian brands. We have a lot of brands that are here, the Techno, Infinix, that are limited to African use. So all of these brands, I bring them together under my umbrella, so to be able to meet the needs of everyone. Like, we have as low, and then we have the high as high.
oh, okay. That's very incredible. That's one business strategy we should all steal. I'm giving you. See, I told you, yeah, we are here to steal secrets, and we are taking them. All right. So there's this. We're moving into a more interesting part. Now, there's this narrative that when a woman is successful, there is always a man behind her. Because I see a lot of online talk. So what do you have to say about such a narrative?
Well, I am not going to say entirely it is true or that is not true. Because, of course, I am fortunate to meet a man that pushes my drive, a man that encourages me to be where I should be, a man that cheers me on, even when other people don't see it. So, yes, it could be true. And on the other hand, even when a man pushes you and you don't push yourself, you might not attain the goal that you have set for yourself. So I'm of the opinion that even in as much as you're being pushed by someone, or being there's a man somewhere sharing it on, you should be your own cheerleader. Like, I have always stood out with the fact that I stand for myself, and it has brought me far.
Okay.
I don't relent. I don't think about the losses, because yes, every good business comes with a lot of losses. I don't think about the losses. I forge ahead. Sometimes we win, and then sometimes we also lose, but persistence and keep moving forward is what has brought me to where I am today.
Oh, okay. That's amazing. Now, I'm going to share a little story. So there's this tweet I saw online. There's this girl. She's an influencer, right? Now she got herself a car, right? And I went under the comment section. I'm telling you, men were like, oh, she probably sold her body and whatever. There were so many nasty comments. Now, it got me thinking. There are some women that are probably successful this way, and they are probably afraid to share their success because of what people might change. They might change the narrative. So what do you have to say to women like this, and what would you say to these men that are like always into
that comment? Yeah. All I have to say to the men first is stop being petty, right? Some of us women have this drive and we stand firm. Now, when I got into this business, 2006, 2007, there were a lot of shadows that I can't even comprehend. There were a lot of things, there were a lot of talks. In fact, I remember those days, my neighbors were full of, because I was young, and permit me if I use the word beautiful. So I was young and beautiful, and I put in all my passion into the business. So that makes me attract customers. So they have a name to it. They tag the name to it. This one is that. But then I know it wasn't, and I know myself, and I'm able to forge ahead, and I'm able to win. So now, guess what? They come to me themselves to tell me, oh, this is what we thought, this is what we thought, and then that's not it. Now, for every woman that has succeeded, sleeping around or doing things like that alone might probably not bring a woman to success. For me, I believe in my hard work. I believe in God, my hard work, and my drive. Of course, when you're successful and you are somewhere in the limelight, there comes a time when people will want to put you in that line. There are a lot of temptations, I must say. I was young and I'm handling a business that is probably a bit higher than I am, but I have that self-control. I had that self-control and self-drive that, okay, no, I don't need to compromise on this. There were a lot of opportunities because I'm able to deal with a lot of people. I dealt with the highs, I dealt with the lows. There were times I supply phones to the cooperative in the Air Force. I dealt with a lot of people at some point in my life, and I'm able to meet a lot of prominent people, which, by the grace of God, I still maintain a very good relationship with, because at that time, I was not compromised. So don't think about today, don't think about what you can afford to achieve today. Think about what can come tomorrow. And then I always tell myself at the back of my mind, okay, I have daughters that look up to me, so I must set a good example. And by the grace of God today, I am able to raise those girls to be wonderful women. So that's all I have to say. Not all success is linked to a man funding it.
Thank you very much. Now, before I go on, I would like to say you don't need permission to say you're beautiful, because you are beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, going to our next question. So, what habits have you learned over time, like that helped you in your business strategy as a woman?
Okay, like I said before, one of the habits I learned that kept me going up until now is because I'm very versatile with my brands.
Okay.
I don't limit myself to a particular brand. In all the phone brands I'm involved,
Okay.
So I make sure I touch each of the brands so to enable continuity. Now, for example, you step into my shop and you wanted to get a Samsung and you cannot afford it.
Okay.
There's another alternative that equally gives you a good quality that you can afford. So the idea is you don't come in and step out with nothing unless you're not ready to buy.
Oh.
So we primed ourselves to be able to meet the needs of everyone that steps in. Now I can shock you to let you know that I have Nokia phones as low as 15,000 naira.
Wow.
Because sometimes people get carried away. Okay, I saw one big phone that is, I'll tell you that phone is not original. If you cannot afford to buy that one, pick the small one and then wait for when you can afford to buy something that will worth your money instead of so that's the habit I have been able to pick. And then I also picked up this habit of availability. Because when the customer steps into your place and tells you, do you have Samsung this? No. Do you have this one? No. That's a discouraging factor for your customers. Because we have a lot of clients that has been with us even in the last 19 years that keeps coming back to us.
Wow.
So this sustainability, we make sure there's availability to be able to sustain the clients that we have built.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand? So this is one thing that has worked for us. That's one severe habit that we have picked that we keep going forward with. So that's an habit that has kept me going, and I never regretted that choice.
Oh, okay.
Thank
So
you
moving
very
on to our
much.
next question. Now, what is a mindset game that like just changed your whole game for you? Mindset shift that changed your whole game.
Oh, okay. So there was an incident that happened 2007 in GSM Village where I started out when I got my store and then I started out. So I didn't know where to start from. I didn't have a lot of goods. My shop was practically empty. So I was going around looking for bosses to just fill up the space. So one fateful day I was going to the back.
Okay.
Then to get something. So I saw some people on the queue having a lot of argument and I interfered and they told me what happened. So that's when I got to know that with slot office there, you can go there, pick up some phones and sell in your store and return their money. So I went there on that day and I picked up 7 phones. I sold 5 out of 7. So the girl was happy. So that's where I started from. I started getting from there, adding to what I have, and I started selling. And then all of a sudden, the whole thing shifted. Within 6 months of being in the business, I started importing myself. I started getting my own stock. So that was an encouraging drive because it changed the whole thing and shifted the whole thing. Because I had my success story within 8 months of getting into the business.
Wow.
So there was so what is this saying is put your ears on the ground wherever you're running a business. Find out what people are doing around you. Find out because I came into that space without an idea of what is going on there. I didn't learn this business. I just go to my friend's shop once in a while, so I didn't know what's going on. In fact, every single time I had to sell a phone, that's how I learned how to test the phone. There was no learning. There was no prior knowledge apart from the little things I read in the internet here and there. So that's how I started getting into the system. So I know that okay, when I don't have this one, I can pick from the next store, sell, get my profit. Now, so guess what? Today they are the ones picking from me. So that's a success story.
Thank you. That's mad though. That's really impressive because I think when some people when they get to a store, when they get to an area, they don't mingle. They just
Yeah.
on their own mind your business mindset. I think with business it doesn't go like that. Especially if everybody's worried that oh this person is still my customer, that person. That's really impressive. Okay, now this is an amable question now. Amable question. What should I say estimated profit or amount have you made so far in your business?
I don't know if I can quantify it because I have been able to achieve a lot. When I started my business, my kids were still young.
Okay.
And then I've been able to raise them up to a standard that I would want to say I spent a lot. So I wouldn't want to create this name, but I would want to trace a story that says you feel this level of achievement, you've been able to have a property of your own, you have good cars that you can use, your kids are fine. Not meaning to brag, I have 3 of my kids out of the country studying. In fact, my eldest will be graduating as a medical doctor this year. So that's a lot of success story for me. So if I start quantifying it, I might not give a proper figure. But what I'd like to say is that I am able to achieve it by that drive and by God's grace and by hard work. So it means I came this far through honest work, and I am proud of what I think I have come to. So let me not use the word a figure because no figure can actually quantify it. So if you know what it means to train a medical student abroad, then you should understand that it's not something that is quantifiable. So I would like to say that I have done well for myself.
Okay.
Yes, I am actually 45 this year, and I can beat my chest and say, oh, okay, you've done this, you've done that, you've been able to achieve this. Yes, I am not permit me to say I'm not a greedy human. As long as I can have a basic life and comfort, I am fine. So I think I have come far enough. We're picking people here and there to put them somewhere, help 1 or 2 people to go through school. So for me, that's an unquantifiable achievement. That's all I can say.
Wow, that is amazing. I love the fact that you could not, when you put I said, someone said when you put a price on
Price,
something,
yeah.
it's
It
not,
means it doesn't have a lot of value.
exactly. So that is amazing. Okay, moving on to our next question. This segment now, we want to know the challenges you've gone through in
Okay.
your business. So, what is one major challenge that probably almost shaped your business?
Yes, there were lots and lots of challenges in this line of business. If you know mobile phones, you know that it's all about the FS rate, the USDs, the trading amount, and all that. So it's been a long walk because after some time, the financial situation in Nigeria became a bit confusing. Like 1 minute you're buying at this rate, and then the next minute is dropping. Sometimes it goes higher, which works better for us, but most of the time it goes lower. So you find yourself in this thing that comes up. Most of the time, you lose some money, you lose some capitals because of the price drop, the dollar drop, and then the dollar takes off again. So it's been on and off for a while now in the system. So each and every one of us knows, even if you're not into business, you know the Nigerian system and how it has affected a lot of people in business. So that challenges have been coming for us. We lose money, and then there are times when we get our goods lost in transition. There are times when there are lots of things that comes up like that. There are times when a phone that has stayed a while, like a year or two in your store, goes bad on its own, and the supplier is not taking our responsibility. So there are lots of challenges that come up, but in all, we win, right? So there are a lot of profit. Like when the dollar takes off and we have stocks on ground, we also try to make up for those losses. So it's a give and take thing. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. But for me, I would say my wins are more than my losses because I've been able to stand right back every single time that setback comes. So there are always ways that we were able to devise means to be able to match up to
Okay.
what the price is saying at that time. So it's been okay. And then a special shout out to my Nigerian suppliers, the ones that give us rebates. Like when I'm dealing with Redmi, when I'm dealing with Infinix, when I'm dealing with some of them, they give us rebates. So when the price crashes, they pay us off for the extras. When it goes up, they don't ask for they increase the prices as well. So these are the things that has kept us going in the business, and we're still in it.
All right, that's amazing. I think this type of things, because I know there are people who probably have started your business and they're not able to cope with
Yes, a lot of
this,
people.
and they would leave the business at the end.
Yes,
But that's great.
because I forgot to say that the mobile phone business is capital intensive.
Oh, okay.
So you open a store, you don't talk about, if you really want a standard store, you don't even talk about anything less than 100 million. And that's the least if you really want a standard store. So it's capital intensive. So a lot of people come into the business with loans.
Wow.
And it's not so easy for them because they're not able to meet up with those unforeseen things that can come up. So we started from the scratch and built it up to this point. So we can know how we're able to manage the fallouts and how we're able to manage the rise ups and all that. So that's another factor. So before you enter into a business, try to make your researches, especially when you're coming in with a lot of capital. Especially when it's also coming in from a loan angle. So you have to understand where you stand and how you go around it to be sure that you don't run into losses. So some of the Nigerian brands are also helpful. Sometimes they release goods to us on the 7 days credit policy. So we get to pay. So if you're able to manage your incomes and your profits and your gains and your expenses, then you should be able to be right on track. Just have a record of what you do. There are some careless business people. You make 1 million and you're spending 1.2. So when you start doing that, you're already on the drop list. Because at some point you won't be able to acquire those things that you're ready. So what we do is that we are sure that our profit and gains is higher than our expenses and our losses. So we manage it in the way that we don't do expenditures that will affect the company's stock. Because when you are, let me give you an example. When you have 10 stocks in your office, and then you sell and spend more than your profits, you are not able to get that thing back. So that's already a decline. And then when it keeps going on, it's something that you keep seeing. And then some people wake up. I met a lot of big shots in the phone business that some of them are nowhere to be found, apart from those that left for bigger deals. Some of them can't even, boast of anything. So learning how to manage your resources, your gains, and your expenditures is another factor that can keep your business going for a long time.
Wow. At this point, I'm also learning so much. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Now, there's a question there, right? As a woman in a man's space, let's put it that way. What are the things that you had to face, and how did you overcome it?
That's a very good one. It's very immense, being in the space where men are dominant, where men are dominating, where men think you are a woman. But that's where drive comes in, and consistency and discipline. I have to use the word discipline because how you carry yourself determines how those men see you in the long run. Now, some of them think you are open to affairs, some of them think you are open for fling, some of them think you are open for misbehavior. A lot of things go through their head. I don't know if you know. So men being who they are, not please, I'm not trying to say men are anything, but that's just men are being led by emotions and are being led by sight and all that. So being a beautiful woman in the midst of men that are thriving in this business, they want to understand where the confidence is coming from. And I thank God I was able to stand my ground. Now they can call a meeting and include me in it. Yeah. Madam Sandlings would like you to be part of the meeting. I mean, it's a position I have earned, and I didn't
Okay.
take it for granted because it could be the other way if I had allowed myself to be compromised. You know, it's a good feeling when you can beat your chest and say, oh, I came this far by this. So discipline is another factor that can keep you in business respectfully. Nobody can come into my office and address me with disrespect regards my conduct in my place of business. So conduct and discipline are very, very important because the business, as you know, in Nigeria is dominated by men. I remember when I went to China for the first time and then I had to fly through Beijing because of my goods. They were looking at me like, why is a woman here? I mean, it's a man's thing. They've never seen a woman pass through that, you know. So, you know, they were just saying, and there was somebody was translating and telling me this is what they said, you know. So I felt okay that, okay, fine, I'm able to do this where men can do it. So not to rub shoulders with men, but to be happy that I'm able to fit into this space,
Oh,
even though
okay.
it felt like a masculine affair.
Yeah,
It felt like a
definitely.
masculine thing. So being a woman and having to pass through all of this, all through these years, you know. So it feels good. It feels good to stand your ground, be disciplined, and then be of good conduct.
That's, I'm even speechless at this point because I know that when I go to computer with GSM office, it is mostly men that
Yeah.
you see. So seeing a woman, it's like a fresh breath. I'll be able to speak that
Yeah.
English. All right. So another thing, what was one thing about a woman being in business that nobody really talks about? What was one thing that women in business, like, what does nobody really tell people?
I don't know. I think it's just about the man thing, you know. I think there's a conception around the African, especially in Africa, that the women are meant to be wives,
Yeah,
you
in
know,
kitchen.
be being at home, take care of the children. But then, I think nobody wouldn't want to stay home and then enjoy all the luxury. I feel the Nigerian system has forced a lot of women out, even the ones that ordinarily would want to stay home. I was never one of them. I've always wanted to be very enterprising because at a young age, I was always wanting to do something. In fact, when I left secondary school, I was working with an uncle
Okay.
in an electronics shop, never knowing that a time would come when I would sell mobile phones, you know. So I was just going there just not to be at home. So I was going there until I went to school. I was there. So I was never the one that stays at home. But I know there are a lot of women that would also want to be home and
Okay.
take care of the home front, which is not easy. Taking care of kids and all that is, in fact, it's a job that's bigger than business, right? So I know a lot of them want to be home to do that, but the system of the country has forced a lot of women out to work. And I would like to tell the men and everyone out there to appreciate the women that can work and take care for their home because it's a lot of job. It's a whole lot. When I started my business, I had a few months old baby in my hands, and it wasn't very easy. It wasn't very easy, but I thank God that all of this time has passed, and he's a grown boy now. He's somewhere in one country doing this thing, you know, and that makes me proud. And okay, with all of these things, I was able to scale through. So it's not easy.
Wow.
So I feel like if nobody gives me a pat on the back, I can pat myself and say, "Oh, you've done well," because as a woman, I'm supposed to stay home and raise these kids, but I was able to raise them and also work because of the system that we are able to face at that time. You know, the economic system forced us out to do this thing. So whichever way you see it, a woman that can work and care for her home is a superwoman.
Oh, that's great. And you know what's funny? You actually low-key even answered our next question because our next question was how are you able to balance being a wife, a mother,
Yeah, we
and a
found our way
business
around it. Yeah,
people?
we found our way around it. We found our way. I remember then my kids went there for school. I drive them to school. I take them to school. And then when it's 1:32, anywhere I am, I'm running out, even if it's in my classroom, in my office, I'm running out to go and pick them up, take them back home, and bring myself back to the office.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. You're still in
yes,
school.
yes, I was running another program in LASU.
Oh,
Yes. So I was on getting a degree in LASU then. So it wasn't so easy. But I thank God, you know, being young and being driven by particular urge made it made me able to go through it. It wasn't easy at that time because I remember wherever I am, then I'll be in class. In fact, they got to know me that when it's 1:30, I'm running out of the class. I don't care which lecturer is from. So my classmates were like, why are you always leaving? I was like, you don't understand. You know, because I had to be there to pick, you know. And I also had a peculiar case with having to deal with one of my child that was sick, that was a sickler. So it was a whole lot going on at that time. That's why I said if nobody pats me, I pat myself because having come from all that journey and I am still standing is something to be very super, super grateful to God for. So it's something that I want to say anytime to encourage anyone that feels, okay, there are life situations around you that can limit you. No, I want to tell you that you are unlimited. No, nothing should limit you. Whatsoever thing you're going through right now, understand that it's a phase and it will pass. I went through all of those phases, taking care of little babies, taking them to school, bringing them back, running a business, running a program in school, and as well as taking care of a sickle cell child. God rest her memory, she died at two. So these are the things that you can also overcome as long as you have God and you have the zeal and willpower. Don't allow anything shake you. No. I didn't let those things hold me down 19 years ago. That's why I can stand here and beat my chest and say, yes, I have been fulfilled.
wow. This is very inspiring because I feel like yeah, not everybody can hold even because I know one thing for us as women we are very emotional.
Yeah.
So being able to go through all that and still stand, oh that's amazing.
Yes.
You've done well for yourself.
That's
Let me
that's the,
say
that's the
it.
power of positivity. I would like to implore women on this. Every single woman that has come through a lot in life, being positive. I'm talking to the younger ones now that needs to hear that may have to come across the video and needs to hear this. You have to be positive because a lot was going on in my life then that would have enabled me to raise bitter children. I would have been bitter and raised bitter children, but I allowed the power of positivity. In fact, I fought myself to be positive. So I can tell my story to you and you are running your tears all over and I am strong because I allowed myself to heal from a lot of wounds, from a lot of pain, and I'm able to raise children that I can call anytime and I could hear them answer me. I raised them with love and strength and I could see that in them today as they grow. So whatsoever you're going through, being positive matters. That's why you need God. You stand on in your place with God and tell God, this my yesterday is over. Let me take today in my strides. And you see yourself do so well. It's actually not that crazy, you know. But when you don't have that positivity in you, you become toxic, you become bitter, and don't forget that when you're bitter, it affects every single person around you.
Wow. Thank you very
You're
much for that
welcome.
encouragement. All right, moving on to our next question. If you're not working, what do you do for fun?
Okay, I um I don't know whether it's fortunately or unfortunately I am a loner. I'm an introvert. I like my privacy. The person I am while I'm in my business is not the person I am when I'm home. I'm not the type that likes to hang out. I'm not the type that parties. I don't drink. I can't I can't hold it down. So I love sitting down and reading. Sometimes writing. Writing used to be my hobby as a child until life situations took over. So I love to write sometimes. I love to read and I love to read the Bible as well. And then I love to watch movies. So these are the things that I do
Okay.
that keeps me happy, to keep me going. People will be like, you don't, how do you? I said, no, I'm fine. Because, so I make sure I have my internet at all times. I have electricity at all times. So those are the things that keep me going when I'm alone. And there are a few times when I'm alone. Most times I'm at work. I am still that person that goes to my office, that goes to my workplace every single day to see what goes on there. So the little
Okay.
time I have, I stay in
Yes.
my room, watch my movies. So that's why I make my space very, very comfortable to
Okay.
enable that.
What's your favorite type of movie? Nigerian movie or Nollywood
Korean
or
movie.
Korea? I'm a good GP.
I love Korean movies. I don't know why, it just caught my fancy, and I
Oh,
love Korean movies.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love Korean movies too.
So those are the things that keep me going.
All right. So what? I'm moving on to our next question. So
Okay.
what's one thing you wish you knew that you know now that you wish you knew then when you
Okay.
started?
Social media.
Oh, oh
I
yes.
wish I knew. I opened myself up to be able to learn how to promote my business through social media. I actually started not long ago, and that's if I had known now because social media has suddenly become a platform where you can move your goods without even having to leave your space. People no longer go to the market to except when they need to. So
Yeah.
you can be in your space and make orders of anything you want. So I wish I knew earlier. I probably would have started the social media thing, but then
It's
I
never so.
started now and it's still working out. So that's what I wish I'd known.
Oh,
But
okay.
every other thing I'd applied, I had no regrets because they're
Yeah.
working out.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Before we continue, please, this is time where I tell you, you need to subscribe to us because you won't get this type of advice from
Yes,
anywhere.
please do.
So please hit the subscribe button, like, follow us on all our social media, and we would also be dropping the social media to all our business or our personal accounts in case you want to reach her. We'll drop everything in the caption. So please go there and like follow everything.
Yes, please do.
Yes. So now to our next question. There's something this one now, and this is something I've noticed with business people. Everyone likes gatekeeping. Nobody wants to. Actually, I say, people don't like to support each other. I don't know if it's like an African thing or it's just a general thing. So, what do you have to say to people? As business people, how can we support each other?
Okay. Yeah. I believe as business people, we should support each other. Like when I know my neighbor or my friend is into a particular business and it's something I have need for,
Okay.
I do support. It doesn't matter if she's giving me the value for my money. It doesn't matter if she's not giving me the value for my money. The idea there is to support the business. So it's imperative that we should all learn how to support our friends, our family, and even our fellow next door neighbors' businesses. Like sometimes I buy things I don't really, probably I'm getting it from my child just because somebody I know is doing it and I needed to just give that
Okay.
encouragement to them that, okay, keep going. Somebody needs what you want. So it's always very important to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we are almost rounding up, and this is our final question. We always end each episode with an advice.
Yeah.
So, what is the advice you have to especially young girls who want to go into business, start up their brand, and be successful? Because the aim of every business is to be successful.
Successful, yes.
So, what is the advice you have for young ones,
Okay.
girls especially?
I have a simple advice for the young ones, especially the female children, the female ladies, the ladies, the girls. I have a simple advice. Discipline. Be disciplined in your stand as a woman, knowing that, okay, you have come into this to succeed and not to impress anybody.
Oh, okay.
Now, trying to impress the next person, your classmates, your cousin, then the other person, that's where the problem comes. That's where there are competitions that cannot be evaluated. Now, all you need to do is to be who you are, discipline yourself to be in this conduct, and then follow your drive. Trust me, for every hard work, there is a reward. For every hard work, there's success. For every hard work, there's success. So when you put yourself, I know a lot of influencers that has been on TikTok doing so well. I have a lot of family relatives, my nieces, my nephews that are doing so well with the work that they started on their own. And when I look at them and even my children, I am impressed. Now, I have my children who are schooling abroad. During summer, they are working. They're dignifying themselves by, okay, earning money to do one or two without having to bother their parents. So what I'm trying to say is that whatsoever thing you put your mind to, you can actually achieve it. I know a lot of people I could quote from social media that's been able to go in there, do their thing, do their content, and make money genuinely without having to compromise themselves or their dignity. So my simple advice to every lady there, every young woman there, trying to start out and succeed, persevere, be disciplined, and be of good conduct. You will make it, and you will do well. And then in time to come, you can sit your children down and tell them your success story without having to feel very guilty about it.
Oh. I'm actually going to take that one out. I'm going to take that one out because I think many of us we live in present with the present. You don't think about the future.
Yes.
Yeah, because imagine having kids now and you want to tell them your story. What are you going to say?
Exactly.
So I think whatever you're doing right now in business, in life generally, think of the future. Think of when I get to this point, how would I look back and say, okay,
what would I say?
Exactly. So thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
I am very pleased with this episode because I know that, as a lady, I'm going on with a lot of things. So I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming and God bless you.
Yeah, God will see you through. Just keep going on.
Amen.
And for you out there watching, subscribe to this channel. You have a lot to learn because I've been following up on all the episodes. So when I got this invite to be here, I was ready to because I know what I've learned so far from the episode that has been played out before me. And I'm hoping that you guys will learn a lot and learn to stand firm and persevere with good conduct and discipline.
Can you hear that? So go hit the subscribe button right now.
Yes,
Okay, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, for staying to the end. Now, the Real Talk with Ella, we have a community. I just want to say this briefly. We have a community, so please ensure you join the community. Well, now, what is our community about? This is a family where when we want to invite a guest or a guest bring an opportunity, it could be a job opening, an opportunity, a business partnership, our family would be the first to know. So that's that's the opportunity we are bringing to Real Talk with Ella family. Plus, if we have an upcoming guest, we tell you ahead of time. And if you have a question you want to ask, we will ask on your behalf.
That's amazing.
Thank you. So that is what we have to say. Please remember, hit the subscribe button. You can follow all our guests on through our captions, and you see all their social media. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Till next time. Bye.